My next guest takes on Catalin Morosanu at Glory 38 Chicago coming up here on February 24th. Maurice Green joins me here on the program for the very first time. Maurice, what's going on? How are you?
Man, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing real good.
Fantastic. I was like hearing that, and I was checking out your record here and your backstory and all that stuff, and I know your nickname is Mo the Pirate. There must be a pretty cool story behind that. What's the story?
You know what's funny? Everybody always says, like, you can't make your own nickname up, but I really like pirates, and pirates like one thing, gold. And in the back of my mind, they're ruthless individuals. They'll do anything to get it, and that's just my mindset when I step in the ring. Like, I'm not concerned. I'm not afraid to get hit. I don't shy away from getting punched. He don't shy away from getting punched. It's going to be an awesome fight, man.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about the matchup in a second. Very, very.
Now
very
the other one that they don't know about yet, they're gonna soon realize in Chicago. Let me show you, because I just got the mouthpiece in. Everybody's gonna wonder what that says. I don't know if you can see the mouthpiece.
Yes, I can. It says
The Crochet Boss.
The Crochet Boss. Nice. Where'd you come up with that?
Actually, man, a bunch of years back, before I even started, I was 330 pounds, and somebody was like, Maurice, you want to fight? I was like, man, I could fight. I really couldn't at that. I didn't realize the magnitude of what I was getting myself into, honestly. I thought these guys were crazy in what they did. So I didn't even start doing any combat sports until 25.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was checking that out in your backstory. And I also know Anderson Silva was a pretty big influence on your career, right?
Anderson the Spider Silva, one of my idols. Like, I watched him coming up, and I always liked the fact that he was agile. He could move. He could switch. Like, he could adjust, and that's how I think of my style. Like, I'm right-handed, and I fight orthodox. But if I gotta go southpaw, the left hand and knock him out too. What's Ashley Epps saw the left hand knock him out. So that shows there's no weakness in the straight left either. So.
Yeah, and I know also, just kind of looking at your career here, 2012, I know you were brought in to train with Pat H.D. Barry for his fight with Stefan Struve. What was that experience like at the time?
It was very eye-opening. I came out here. The funny thing is, I came out here to Minnesota. Now I live out here, but I lived in Chicago at the time. And, it was just nice mixing it up, and I got beat up. I was still an amateur at the time. So it was good experience leading into my pro career. You got to go with a guy who threw probably some of the hardest leg kicks in MMA at the time. He was a kickboxer. So it was an eye-opening experience, and from that, it just pushed me. And, here we are today. I came up short my last fight, but I had, things going on, new baby, daddy time, a lot of extra, hours at work. So now it's just one of those things where 2017, it's the takeover. That's what I call it. It's a takeover. It's to put the U.S. kickboxers on the map, in the heavyweight division. All the best heavyweights are with the exception of Xavier Vigny, and you can't forget about him because he's undefeated. All of them are pretty much international, man. And I want to be that guy that they can market, that they want to speak for them, So that's my goal, in and out of the ring, just to do my part, to make my stamp,
Have you always had sort of this outgoing personality, or is this something that sort of came with your fight career?
I've always been like this, man. I can talk to anybody. My dad was in the military, so we had to move every 3 years. So you learn how you meet different people in every different state, and you learn how to adapt. Like I tell, me and my manager always talk. His name is Tori. We always talk about, we're chameleons. You can put us in any environment and we thrive. There's nowhere I can't be. I'll thrive because everybody thinks I'm an interesting person. So.
We were talking a bit off air. You were just getting off work. What do you do for work outside of fighting?
I'm a banker, man. I work on the management
no way.
team at Capital One,
Cool. Good
So that's
you,
the day job, It's a corporate job during the day, and after work, my second job. I don't call this a part-time job because it's a full-time job, but my second job is this, So.
Good for you, man. It's nice that you've been able to kind of balance the two and, have this fight career because, some fighters, they go all in, but they don't think ahead. And at least you have like a nice sort of base there, as far as keeping the lights on and everything else. Do people at work, do they kind of get what you do, or is it still, you get kind of those weird faces where it's like, oh, you're doing what? Sorry?
No, they're really behind me. I got a lot of fans at work. I can't complain, man. Capital One it's a great place. They understand the work-life balance, and they understand that you have dreams at home, away from work. And as long as you can balance it, they're willing to work with me. So, it's nothing for me to get time off to do this or do that. So I'm very thankful that I have a job that's willing, to help me along on this dream and journey. And, because I got to keep the lights on. I got to have insurance for my kids. So it's hard for me to give all that up for a dream when you got 2 kids and a family to support. So, and we do this grind until it gets to a point where, it pays me enough to say, you know what, I'm going to stay home, spend more time with my family, and train more. So.
Absolutely. Completely agree. I mentioned off the top, you're taking on Catalin Morosanu, a veteran in the kickboxing world. People know him from, K1 and everything else. How do you feel like you match up against him?
I'm going to be honest with you. I took a learning experience last year, same night, same arena, against Anderson Silva. He really, I feel like he pushed my limits. Like, he pushed me. And after that second knockdown, everything in me said, just lay there, big guy. Lay there. But then he started counting, and my brain went like, get up. Get up. You only got, 4 more minutes to go. Get up, Maurice. And that's what I did. And that was probably the best decision I've ever made in my career. I've gained a lot of respect. Gloria called me on short notice. I'm that guy that's going to step in there, and I'm game to fight. I'm game to fight. I welcome the fight. He's going to be a tough guy. You keep your distance with these guys. He's going to rush in. He's going to hit the body. You keep the distance, check leg kicks, and he can feel my power.
Fantastic. Who are some of the people helping you get ready for this fight?
My head coach, Matt Legou, he started with Vanderlei Silva in Vegas, and he lives out here now, and we just mesh well together. Like we speak the same language, and when you have a coach that you speak the same language and you can be completely yourself around, and you feel like you're always learning from him, you got something good. The good thing is I'm a smart fighter, and I do a lot of things on my own. So I'll put in bag work on my own. You don't got to force me to go run. I lost 100 pounds running. It's nothing for me to get on the treadmill or, to make sure the cardio is good. So we're going to be ready to go. We're going to be sharp.
February 24th, what's your prediction? How do you see this fight ending?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in there to fight 9 minutes. The goal is 9 minutes, right? So we prepare for 9 minutes. I would like to catch him with a knockout, but he's tough. He's a very, very tough individual. So I'm going to be modest, I win by decision, unless he gets caught. He has a lot of experience, so I'm just going to – he's a lot of experience. So it's really going to depend on my dynamic in there. But if I had to put a finger on it, I'll catch him with a straight punch and put him to sleep.
Nice. I like it. I actually became familiar with you with your MMA career. You fought a guy that I interviewed, Zach Thumb, last year at a Lynch UFC 60. What is there any plans to sort of go back to MMA after this, or are you going to stay strictly in kickboxing?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. I started my career in MMA.
Yeah.
Glory allows me to go back and forth, and that's how I took that fight. I'm still under contract with Glory. I got the approval. But there's, even more so in MMA, right? Even more so in MMA. You look at the heavyweight divisions everywhere. They're wide open. They're wide open. And on top of that, you talk about marketable fighters that you can market, fighters that have some layers, fighters that have something outside of fighting. Most of these guys are just stone cold fighters, I'm a person, people want to see me. They want to hear my story. So, and I can fight, I can fight, as we can see, So we're going to toggle it back and forth, man, and see what 2017 brings. But but I would say this: I love kickboxing. I fell in love with kickboxing. So, um, as long as Glory keeps me around, as long as they keep me in the mix, I'm gonna fight for Glory.
Fantastic. I was going to say that has there been any talks with LFA, because Legacy and RFA combined into this sort of super promotion, and I imagine they're going to go back to Minnesota at some point. Has there been any dialogue there?
Well, I think they're going to be back in Minnesota in April. So right now, I'm ranked third in the state of Minnesota, with Travis View ranked second and Brian Hadeen ranked first. So I'm like, who's your heavyweight champ? I don't know. Why don't you hook it and book it, me and Hadeen, for the title. So, but I try not to think too far ahead, and I try to focus on the task at hand. So right now, my brain is on Caitlin. Me and Caitlin gonna get busy.
Absolutely, Caitlin. Yeah, good stuff. Before I let you go here, every fighter that I talk to watches Netflix. Are you a Netflix watcher? And if so, what are you watching right now?
What am I watching? Let's see. Netflix. I'm watching Poro, The Little Penguins.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yep, my daughter and my son were just.
I was going to say you got kids. Nice.
Yeah. So that's what we're watching. This is. I know you guys see me all the time, but this is what. Oh, it doesn't work. I was going to say this is what my living room looks like.
Oh, there you go. Good stuff.
I'm daddy number one. So, daddy comes first. So if my kids, I sit down and watch things with my kids, and I'm about to go lay in there and watch some Toy Story with my son. So that's what's playing on Netflix right now.
Good stuff, man. Well, we're certainly looking forward to this card. Glory 38 in Chicago, February 24th. Maurice, I can't thank you enough for this, man. This is a lot of fun. Where can people find you on social media? And if you got any thank yous, shout outs, sponsors, anything like that, man, the floor is yours.
First off, we're going to say thank you to the mouthpiece guy. Gave me two phenomenal mouthpieces. Also, Reju Fitness, Ikinga. Is one of my gear sponsors. So they can find me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Facebook as Mo the Pirate. MoeThepirate. I own those handles. And you will frequently see a hashtag of the Crochet Boss. Don't forget it.